5 years, probably at $15 million a year. That would be if I was a betting man. That's what I would say. If you get to year 10 and you haven't been to a Super Bowl, I don't think you finish that contract out. I don't. Whether or not that's going to be the case, Packer fans are going to say, no, that's not how Green Bay does business. You heard urgency last year. I don't know what's on top of urgency, what the next word is, but I'm guessing Brian Gutekunst is going to say, and I'm guessing Mr. Policy, when he had these meetings at Kohler Lodge, was telling him, hey, urgency is up. We're doing this, but we have done everything. Y'all better get it done. And if you don't, y'all know the business. Yeah. Mr. Policy's policy is going to be, you don't get it done, you go. Bye-bye.
All right, so Tausch is going to tell us about Ms. Della. No, for those of you that are curious about what Tausch is up to here, I did not see this. We were traveling back from a volleyball tournament, but apparently when the Patriots advanced, Robert Kraft.
Oh, no. It was pregame. It was postgame. It was every network. Like, what the hell? What? You cannot call Bob Kraft Bob Kraft. He was referred to as Mr.
Kraft repeatedly.
And I've said this for a while, but this just – because then I was thinking, well, they've done that with Jerry Jones, and I don't ever hear him say Mr. Jones or Mr. Cronky.
Mr. Jones and
then, I was talking, it's like, well, how many owners of these teams do you know? It's like, they call him Arthur Blank. They don't call him Mr. Blank, right?
Yeah, I think people in the building a lot of times, like I heard players call Mark Murphy Mr. Murphy, so I do think some do that in the building, but that is over the top, and I understand why that got under your skin a little bit.
Well, unfortunately for our listeners, or fortunately, y'all are only going to hear Mr. Policy from now on.
Yes, I'm very excited about that, because that's
if Mr. Kraft and everybody else is getting that respect, then we're giving our guy that same respect.
Do we have to call Ben Wittes Mr. Wittes?
No, do whatever you want to do.
NFL owners,
if he owns an NFL team, I will. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mr. Haslam?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Well,
I thought that would be one I'd like to test out.
That is not going to happen.
Get to 500 and we'll talk.
All right. So Tausch read my mind, because the first thing I thought when I saw that this morning as I was getting ready to come downstairs to do the show with Sean McDermott is we now have the juxtaposition, because we have a team that has a coach who won a lot of football games that fired him, and we have a team that's won a lot of football games that kept him, and what do they have in common? Neither one has gotten to a Super Bowl during their tenures. So we will talk about that. We also just want to talk flat out about Matt LaFleur being extended, and Brian Gutekunst and Russ Ball are next. And they're keeping the structure in place. Despite some previous reports that indicated that it was going to change, it appears that, as Tausch calls him,
Mr. Policy
is going to keep it in the same vein of all three of those people reporting to him, the team president. Mr. Tauscher, please tell us.
Shocking that someone that has power isn't giving up power. It's a fascinating deal.
Yeah, you're right. You know who's got power? Gina Della's got power over Great Windows.
You as the consumer, because you're going to have a heck of a deal for your New Year's resolution. The sky is the limit. Pella's 0 interest for 4 years finance offer. No payments, no interest for 4 years. Think of everything you can do in 4 years. Maybe you can win a division title. Can we start with that? Can we start with winning a blanket division title in Green Bay?
Yeah, I like that goal.
Yeah. We can get a college degree. You can raise your toddler until they're ready for school. All of that, 4 years against 0 interest finance offer from Pella. Start your journey today toward meeting your goals and enjoy Pella's highest quality products with exclusive features custom made for your home. This deal ends January 31st, so schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
All right, so I want to get people's just overall reaction. And again, more polling data comes in that indicates that what felt like the vast majority of Packers fans is not the vast majority of Packers fans. It's just clearly the very loudest among them. So I want to get how people, and if you actually are either fine with or happy about Matt LaFleur's extension, we welcome you to step into the Lions' Den, because you will be going up against some very loud Packers fans who do not agree with you. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build your own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Ian Fitzsimmons.
This is why this is going to be one of the more coveted jobs, and right there with Baltimore, because of the Rooney family and the way they supported Coach. Bill Cowher went from a Super Bowl or an AFC Championship game to, and I'm going off the top of my head here, to 6-10 and like 7-9, and Steeler fans, the Yinzers were going crazy. Get rid of him, get him out of here. What does the Rooney family do? No, we're good. You know what happens the following year? AFC Championship. You know what happens the following year? Super Bowl. That's what patience, which is the ultimate virtue, gets you when you have an ownership like the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's nobody better. So Mike Tomlin had a heck of a run without a quarterback since Ben R. So you're still making the playoffs with a hodgepodge offensive line, no quarterback, riding that defense, and still finding a way to get to the playoffs every single year. That's pretty much remarkable.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Eugenics Total T2.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away, and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text ROCK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenics Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenics Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's ROCK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If your joint pain has been slowing you down, then listen up. There is a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on hold. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee offer regenerative treatments designed to help your body repair the areas causing pain. Knees, hips, shoulders, or back, wherever it hurts. Instead of an invasive operation that takes you out of commission for months, these treatments are done right in the office. You walk in, you walk out, and you get on with your day. No 3 to 6 months recovery. Picture this instead. You're moving better, you're feeling stronger, actually planning the year that you want because you finally took care of that pain the smart way. Game-changing regenerative treatment from QC Kinetics. January is your clean slate, so make it count. Call now for your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
There is one stat that I have seen in a number of places that if I was a Packers fan would strike fear in my heart.
Ooh, I think I know which one.
In the history of the National Football League and the Super Bowl era, more accurately, as we prepare for Super Bowl 60. So in 60 years, one head coach has won a Super Bowl after his 7th season as the head coach.
Okay.
His name is John Madden, who did it in his 8th season.
Wow.
And he retired a couple years
I would
later.
say Matt LaFleur and John Madden are largely dissimilar. But
how so?
In their appearance, heavier set guy versus eyebrow, coiffed, handsome fella.
Okay.
But
I think they both have said boom.
We're all in this sucker together. So I saw that statistic being peddled in a variety of places. Should that matter? Should that concern you? Because every person is a different person. But that was jarring when I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, the shelf life of an NFL coach, as we've seen, is, maybe 3 or 4 years. And if you're successful, it's such an anomaly. I don't know if we'll ever see what we saw with Harbaugh and Tomlin of getting to 19, 20 years, whatever it is. Like, that's a crazy amount. Andy Reid, I would bet Andy Reid, if he doesn't win next year, that seat will get hot. It's just the nature of this business is so hard, and with the way it's structured to stay up at that top echelon. So I'm not shocked by that. And it doesn't – I mean, is it concerning in the fact that we've seen and now you have a good understanding of how teams play when it comes to be postseason and what you do under this coach? Yeah, you have a really good idea of what you're going to get. And for some Packer fans, it's just not good enough. And they're going to be upset about this re-signing and this status quo. Run it back, as I've heard that a bunch over this course. And running it back as being, again, this is just the reality. You're been a 7 seed and having to win 3 road playoff games. We'll see if the Rams can pull it off. I'm going to guess, if I was, tipping my hand what I'm thinking for next Sunday, I think they're going to be out of gas. And I don't think they get it done. I think that advantage of having the 1 or 2, the 1 seed for certain is you don't play, and then if you can knock the rust off and you can get back into it, oh boy, oh baby, right? You have to be more consistent. But as far as the 7-year coach thing goes, it can be broken. And I think Matt LaFleur's scenario is much different in the fact that it's 2 different. I almost look at LaFleur's tenure in 2 different ways. I look at this as year 4 for him. I don't look at the first 4 or 5 years under Aaron. That was before Christ. That was the BC. This is the AD.
Anno Domini.
This is a whole new era of calendar for him. And so he's really going into year 4, not year 8, if that math makes sense.
I misspoke, which is not the first time that's occurred. The statistic is reached their first Super Bowl after their 7th season, not won. So even it's even more rare for when you look at that statistic now, because now you don't even have to win it, you just have to get there. And John Madden is the only one to get there after his 7th season with a team. And then, as you pointed out, I believe he did walk away after he got there and won. So, overarching, you were around people all weekend. You were at a basketball game. You were elsewhere. I was as well at a gymnastics meet and a volleyball tournament, and speaking with a variety of parents. There were some that were like, oh, good, I think he's a good coach. There were, again, some that were, should just fire him. Why didn't they fire him? I wanted him fired.
Jesse, let's do the one-word thing.
One word.
The one word. After hearing Matt LaFleur re-signed along, and the Packers running it back with their power structure as is, makes me feel blank. Because the overarching thing, to go to your point, Jason, I think is skeptical. I think a vast majority of Packer fans, they're not mad. They understand it. The pain of that loss and the 3 or 4 days after is subsided, and I think there's the resignation is a word that some have. I don't know if there's a ton of people that are stoked. Maybe there will be, or excited. I really believe it is, okay, let's see. Okay, what are they going to do different? Okay, how is it going to change? Because my question all last week, unlike a lot of folks in your world, and I guess if you want to consider media world, calling for his job, that's not where I was. My question has always been, what is going to change? How is it going to end differently? What is going to happen that makes you think? And I am to the point after hearing this, and I kind of felt like that this was going to happen Tuesday or Wednesday. I was starting to wonder why it is taking so long, the complication, whatever it might be. But I never thought that the Packers would make the big boy, wow, I can't believe they did this, without really having a plan and who that person would be. But what's going to change? That's the question. And I think there's going to be some coaching staff changes, even though it wasn't mandated by Mr. Policy. But that's where this is. And now I look at this very similarly to when Giannis and the Bucks were in their glory days, 2018 to 2023. Certainly not the last 2 years.
Fair.
What are you going to do? All right, great. Have a great regular season. What are you going to do in the postseason? This Matt LaFleur era is now basically evolved into, all right, regular season, you're going to be fine. Hopefully you can be better than what you've been.
Yeah, get some
But you're
home
going to get in the
games.
dance.
Yep.
And then it's going to be, all right, can you do
Now
it
what?
when the money's on the table? And that was the question with Giannis. They found a way. Is that going to be the same thing with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love? That's kind of how I look at this whole thing.
One other thing before we shifted gears, and we'll get to this now on the Carbless Talk and Text line here coming up. And Ron in the Key was thinking the same thing I was. The issue that I have with that reaching the Super Bowl after your seventh season is it gives no greater context, right? How many coaches have lasted beyond 7 seasons at one place, right? Like, think about Mike Holmgren, for example. Mike Holmgren coached the Packers. Here's a guy that I think should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and got hosed by the alteration of the voting last year. He only spent 7 years in Green Bay. Then he left for Seattle. I agree with Ron, which is painful for me to say, but I think that stat needs a little more context. But the bottom line is that most coaches don't get to 7 seasons. And only one coach has ever gotten to 7 seasons and gotten an 8th without making a Super Bowl. So we will see what happens. I agree with the we'll see. So what is your word? Because I'm going to put that on our socials. Skeptical.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to think about my word. You should think about your word. 844-770-3776. 844.
Is skeptical
It feels too strong to me. That's what I was going to say, actually.
But aren't we skeptical?
Look,
Matt LaFleur has been a really good regular season coach, but with Jordan Love, we just haven't won big games consistently. We've had a few, but we haven't won big games. That's why we're not. The Bears game would have closed up the division had we beaten them in Chicago. And then we were the 2 seed. And we're still playing. I firmly believe that. So that's where I'm skeptical. It is strong, but that is where I feel. And I feel like that's how a lot of fans feel. I don't know what is a better word that I could come up with, because I believe he is a good coach. And I know there's a lot of fans that disagree with me. Trust me, I've seen it on social media.
Yes, you have.
And that's okay.
Yeah, me too.
But in this regard, I am skeptical we can get over the hump, because we haven't gotten over the hump. And this isn't like we're nowhere near the hump. Like, we have the camel lassoed up. All you got to do is climb up over the hump. But we ain't tall enough, or we don't have a ladder, or we're springy enough in our shoes to get up over that hump.
All right, I want to get to your calls on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Carbless, less is more.
Jill, what's your word?
Can I just briefly give you some synonyms for skeptical and see if you like any of them better from thesaurus.com?
Yeah, before Jell puts my word up on the thing. Yeah, I'd like to hear
and we'll let Jell have the break before he gives his word, because I'm going to need it as well. Doubtful, dubious, mistrustful, suspicious.
Nope.
Here's the one that I kind of like. Unconvinced.
That's almost stronger than.
No, I think it implies that you could still be convinced.
Well, skeptical is too.
Sure,
right?
A few others. Hesitating, hesitant. Kind of like that
not
one.
Bad. Not bad.
Questioning.
And
this word is hyphenated, but I really like this one. I think this is the one. And if they're going to allow it,
hyphenated words count as one.
Okay. Show me.
That's good.
I like it.
That's good.
I think that could be our official word for our show. All right. We'll get to your calls coming up. Packers extend Matt LaFleur. Brian Gutekunst and Russ Ball will get done in the coming days. By the way, in Buffalo, I'm fascinated by why general managers do not face the same level of scrutiny as coaches. Not only is Brandon Bean keeping his job, he got a promotion.
Yeah,
you fired the coach, you promoted the GM who built the roster?
Some folks are awesome at politics. Brandon Bean should not have been promoted. Brandon Bean should be on his keister with Sean McDermott.
Totally agree. All right, we'll get into
that roster that Josh Allen. Look at that receiving core.
Yes.
Look at that defense. Now, granted, it was beat up. McDermott did a great job keeping that defense together with all those injuries.
Yep.
Josh Allen had Cookie and then a tight end. And then everybody else was...
Didn't he have MVS for a while?
He had a lot of guys. He's going to a guy, Green Bay, as a punt returner, didn't even view, and we don't even have a punt returner on the roster, and we cut him. And he's their star wideout in the NFC or AFC divisional game.
Got a touchdown.
And Brandon Bean's getting extended? Gulak.
More Wilde.
By the way, I want Belichick involved. Belichick needs to go to Buffalo. That needs to happen. Just for a story purpose. And I think it's the right move.
I'm sure his girlfriend will love that place. More Wilde and Tausch. Straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And sponsored by American Family Insurance.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Join before January 31st to get the lowest rates of 2026. Make sure you join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf & Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Eight 844-770-3776. Jesse, what were you doing? You were doing like some sort of fill in the blank on the video stream. What were you up to?
Yeah, we brought back our little trivia challenge during the commercial break.
Tell me now.
So
I liked that. Yeah, it would have been nice to know. I would have stuck around and done it. Can we do a Digi-only during the break?
We can do a Digi-only coming up during one of our upcoming commercial breaks.
I'd like to jump in and
fill in the blanks.
I like playing trivia.
For the 7 longest tenured active NFL head coaches. The list has
Andy Reid is the longest.
The list has changed significantly in the last 9 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the top 3 now because I read that story earlier today. All right, we need to get to calls because we've got full phone lines. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So let's get started.
Monday we get full phone lines.
Well, we do. That's fair.
It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays that are struggles to get full phone lines.
I'm sorry, Wednesdays we get a lot of calls?
When we want. Wednesday's a good call day.
You don't know that.
I don't.
Let's go to the phones.
I don't.
Analytics firm. If only we had one that could dive into that for us.
Yeah, fired the one we created.
That was a tough fire.
844-770-3776.
Sean McDermott at him. We could have done like the Pack and Mr. Policy and just said, yep, we're going to keep everybody, but we didn't.
Well, you shut down the entire company.
Yes,
they had to reinvent themselves. All right, let's go to the phones.
They came back stronger and better.
They do not call you Mr. Tauscher.
No, they called you a lot of things. That was not one of them. Let's start with the calls. Let's get to Jeff in Milwaukee first. Jeff, thanks for hanging on. Good morning. Your one word for how you feel about Matt LaFleur getting an extension.
Well, guys, first of all, I'd say skeptical is the closest thing. Having said that, I thought it was the right thing to do, because if you're going to get rid of him, then you got to have somebody that you think is going to definitely be better, and I don't think there was anybody out there. So, yes, I think skeptical is a way I'd describe it, or okay, you did this, now prove that it was the right decision. I do want to a couple of things, if you can just bear with me. The first thing I want to do, which is more important than my feelings about Matt LaFleur, is I want to thank you guys for another incredible season. I think the listeners are lucky to have all of you guys. You do an amazing job. You know, Jason, I was thinking about the night that they lost the Bears, and you're on the post-game show, and, you know, it was some god-awful late hour. Just appreciate the amount of ground you cover, and it's just incredible. You guys just do an amazing job, all of you, in terms of providing the fans with a great experience. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jeff.
Yeah, so
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse, we love you. We do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesse would like some more praise, please, before you continue to your next point.
So Jason and Tausch, let me just say a few things, and then I have one question at the end. Jason, you pointed out Matt LaFleur's two liabilities, and totally agree with you. Number one, his teams, and I brought this up as well, always seem to fold at the biggest moments and can't win big games. That's number one. And number two, he is loyal to a fault with regard to his coaching staff, and I couldn't agree with you more. Very fair assessment on your part. The other thing that I think that we need to talk about or discuss with Matt LaFleur is everybody talks about what a great offensive mind he is. My feeling about him is he is very, very, very good at putting a game plan together. There is no question about it. Where he is not good, and the other area, which is a prove-it area, is his ability to adapt once the other team makes some changes. He is not proven that he can do good in-game changes, and he needs to prove that he's better at that. The biggest winner, in my opinion, of this decision to keep Matt LaFleur, the biggest winner across the board is Jordan Love. He's going to have the same coach, and if you've watched all the playoff games, I will tell you, I am really happy we have Jordan Love as our quarterback. If you give him time, if not a ton of time, just enough time, he is pretty lethal as a quarterback. He can figure out where to go with the ball, and I think we're in good shape there. So Hafley's going to go, obviously, if he gets a job. Besides defensive coordinator, my question to you guys is, what other coaching positions do you think need to be strongly considered in terms of replacement? And the only thing I'll say, Tausch, to lead my thoughts on this is, where the hell is James Campen? So those are my
Florida.
Those are my yeah, right. So those are my thoughts. I want to thank you guys again for everything. Tausch, don't forget to go to Washington Avenue and pick up your Christmas gift.
I got him. I thanked you the other day on the air, and I want to thank you again, because those mugs are blanking awesome, and I really appreciate it.
So there you go.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Couple of things. So
great call, by the way. Phenomenal call,
yes,
and not just because he praised us.
Yeah, that always helps, though, too.
Didn't hurt.
Jeff, I think his points on LaFleur are fair. I think you've illustrated that, Jason. The emotion stuff, and there's things he's got to get better at, and I think he knows that. As far as the staff changes, special teams needs to be better. It has become far too long that we just expect and bank that something's going to happen. And I want to put some of that on Goody, by the way, too. I don't want to just put this on LaFleur and on Rich Bisaccia. You got to find a punt returner. You got to find someone. And if Keyshawn Nixon doesn't want to return kicks, you saw how impactful that was in the Seattle game. Totally set the tone for the game. And
sure did.
You know, who knows how that game changes. It's obviously a huge play. But the whole unit needs, I think, some new leadership. So I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know who that will be. But I hope that Matt LaFleur takes a long, hard look at that. And I do think that the offensive line, it was not good enough this year. It didn't work. And part of that, again, is who's in charge of shuffling and keeping that. I don't know all of the answers to that, but it didn't work. The unit didn't get better. And when that happens, typically there's movement. Whether it's going to be James Campen, Jeff, we advocated for that last week. I am fairly certain that if that call came, one Yimmy J. Campen would be chomping to go up there and do it. And so that is, I think those would be the two spots that I would look at and say, we can be better than what we were in the 2025 season.
I am curious what they're going to do to create more fresh ideas on offense as well. That to me, that's another part of this. I thought Jim made a very good point, or Jeff made a very good point on.
Say, who's Jim?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Easy.
Mr. Rutledge.
Don't get me started. Okay. Mr. Rutledge was trying a reverse jinx, and it worked until it didn't. By the way, last night. I do think there has to be some measure of innovation and new ideas, or the other part of it. And I saw the Rams run a bunch of duo blocking for Kyron Williams last night, so it's not like you can't do it to suit your running back if that's what works for him. But again, it feels like they need some new ideas and also a little bit of a get back to basics offensively. If you can do both of those at the same time.
So do we need a new back?
No, I'm not saying that. I think you need some new ideas. So that's the other thing that I would answer Jeff's question with.
If you're Matt LaFleur and you want to get some of these new ideas, and you saw kind of how this season played out, and you understand the money part of this, and you're in charge of your roster, which he's not, are you bringing Josh Jacobs back?
I am, yes. And
That's
I'm saying
you like him.
No.
As for
I
just
do.
Production and everything else?
I do. First of all, he did something that a lot of other players don't this year. He played hurt for a majority of the season. And that is not something that a lot of players do. They used to do it in your day all the time. That is not the case now. Secondly, they don't have anyone that commands the respect, including their quarterback, who's an awesome guy. He doesn't have the same gravitas that Jacobs does. I don't think they have anybody in their locker room that has what he has. And third, he is productive. Now, he wasn't as productive this year, but what do you have, 13 rushing touchdowns? Like, when he was healthy-ish, he was productive. I just think that there's some ways that they can go about things a little bit differently offensively. I just wanted to say Jeff's point about adjustments, I think he's probably right about that. That's how it feels to me. I would have to dig in further to that for some examples where you wanted to see them adjust and they didn't. But I think that's a fair point. All right, we are behind, as we almost always are. I understand we have full phone lines. We need to get to your calls. I promise we will do that as expeditiously as possible. But Tausch needs to tell us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford and what a fun place it is, even if all the tickets that you thought you were going to be cashing at one point in the season ended up not cashing any of them.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But boy, we still had a great time, and we had a great lunch when we were down there. They still haven't had dinner. Hoping to get down there in the next couple of weeks to get some, because Hard Rock Casino Rockford, only 60 minutes right off the interstate. in Rockford, Illinois. Could not be easier, and you have a great sports book. You have great food, and you have great high-limit room experiences. Delivers premium table games tailored for discerning players. Enhanced game rules, blackjack, where the dealer will stand on a soft 17, which is a nice advantage to the player. You'll enjoy better odds, faster play, and the kind of authentic high-limit action that sets the Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Your next hand could be your best yet. Visit the high-limit room at Hard Rock Casino Rockford and rediscover your game on your terms, in your rhythm, and with your edge.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home, Blow, and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Mark Tausch here for Iron Jock. If you're still working on your New Year's resolutions, right now, congrats! You've officially made it past Quitter's Day. More than 70% of people give up by now, so take your win. Iron Jock wants to reward you. From now through January 27th, our listeners can get 30% off any Iron Jock purchase over $75 when you use promo code ESPN30. And you also score a free 3-pack of Iron Jock socks at $25 value. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Cudahy senior guard Anthony Brooks. Brooks delivered a historic week for the Packers on the court, helping Cudahy earn 2 wins and continue a strong start to the 2025-26 season. In a 110-78 victory over Random Lake, Brooks poured in 54 points, setting both the school record for points in a game and the program's single-game individual scoring record. The 110 points also marked the most scored by Cudahy in a game since the 1969-70 season. He followed up that performance by leading the Packers to a 65-64 win over South Milwaukee, scoring 29 points and hitting 4 clutch free throws late to secure Cudahy's first non-conference win since January of 2023. Congratulations to Anthony Brooks, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
With your Saganaw Pawnee Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Marquette led at halftime but couldn't hold on at DePaul, falling 80-75 in Chicago. The Golden Eagles controlled the first half, but DePaul surged in the second as Marquette slipped to 6-13 overall and a 1-7 in Big East play. One steady presence all night was Nigel James Jr. The freshman guard led Marquette with 18 points and 8 assists, keeping the Golden Eagles within reach down the stretch.
James open 3, good. James now with 13, and Marquette needs them all.
Marquette looks to bounce back tonight at home against Providence.
Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Quick tidbit from Adam Schefter before we get to more of your calls. Adam Schefter reports that former Packers and Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy has interviewed twice with the Tennessee Titans, once in late December here in Green Bay, and again on Friday and Saturday in Tennessee.
I hope he gets that job. I hope he gets that job.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm guessing that the Titans, who have a second interview scheduled with Jeff Hafley, won't get to that, because I think today he has his second interview with the Dolphins, which would...
He's getting the Dolphins job.
They're not going to let him out of the building if he's the guy, I would think. So, all right.
Little thirsty.
That's what I've heard. Let's get to more of your calls. Let's start in Sheboygan and talk to Ron. Ron, thanks for holding on. Good morning. Your thoughts?
Relieved. That's my word. And I'll explain to you in just a minute why. First of all, narratives. The feeling that Matt LaFleur doesn't adjust. Well, they were 7th in the NFL this year, in a pretty bad year, by the way. They were 7th in second half points. I was 7th, in second half points. The reason that I think, Jason, it feels like you said, is because over the last several games, they only averaged about 7. So the last few games weren't as good and brought down the median. But they were 7th in second half points. I think that's a statistic that can help verify he can adjust.
Okay.
Now,
that's the kind of information I was looking for.
Why I'm relieved. There's a bunch of narratives out there. One narrative that isn't out there that confounds me is the word rebuild. In 2019, 2020, 2021, the Packers had a Super Bowl window. They were about average in age on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
They had 13 wins each season, and their dead cap space was minimal. It was basically $10 million all 3 years.
I like where this is going.
Then in 2022, they basically bottom out. And they only get to 8 wins. And they have to get rid of their quarterback. And suddenly, their average age drops from about middle of the pack to youngest. But their dead cap space goes from about 10, 12 million, first to 30, then to 62. And it's if you were to graph it out, you could just see the separation there. And suddenly they have massive dead cap space, and they become the youngest team in the National Football League. And oh, by the way, they have to transition from a multiple MVP quarterback, eventual Hall of Fame quarterback, to a new quarterback, and have to literally change the offensive system. And they go from a median age team to a young team. That's a complete rebuild. Take a look at how the roster turned over from 2021 and 2022 till now. There's virtually nobody left. That's what you call a rebuild. Nobody talks about it because they continue to win during the rebuild. And you can talk about, well, it's a 7th seed. Yeah, but they won, and they got playoff experience during a rebuild process. If you don't think that this is real, you just take a look at the Kansas City Chiefs, who got old, bottomed out, and they are number 1 in the NFL at $70 million over the cap going into next year. That's what happens in the NFL. It happened to the Packers. They were just moderately successful during their rebuild. Now they've rebuilt another Super Bowl window. That's why I'm relieved that he's back, because he took them to 2 NFC championship games. He averaged 13 wins a season when they were in a Super Bowl window before. And my final point is, just take a look at Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher did get to a Super Bowl, lost, but then continued to lose in the playoffs until year 14. Well, what happened? oh, they happened to draft a young kid by the name of Ben Roethlisberger. And he had to switch and change at quarterback. But when he got his franchise quarterback again, then he went to and won a Super Bowl. So I think there's a little bit of equation there. This year didn't work out. This was the first year of the Super Bowl window. Didn't work out for a variety of different reasons. Mm-hmm. But I'm relieved that Matt LaFleur is back because now he gets another Super Bowl window. If he doesn't do it, in 2 to 3 years, he's going to be gone. But he's got an opportunity to relive 2019, 2020, and 2021 with a new quarterback. And I will leave you with this. Most people didn't catch this. But Tom Brady said something really important on the broadcast. He said there's a big difference between championship players and superstars.
Oh, I heard this.
Superstars look towards their own personal stats and their own glory and their fantasy points. Champions sacrifice for the team. And I want you to remember back to 2019, 2020, and 2021. What was more important to our quarterback back then? Was it really winning a championship? Because if you listen to him on Pat McAfee and how MVPs were important to him and statistics and how, my average years are, better than most. Did he really talk about Super Bowls and championships like he really meant it back in 2019, 2020, and 2021, or did he talk more about himself? Remember, there's a between superstars and champions.
Ron, thanks for the call. It was really, really good. And I'm really glad you brought up Bill Cowher. I want to get into that a little bit, but we got a lot of calls to get to. Alex Strofe texted me about him as well during our conversation earlier. His journey in Pittsburgh, where they stuck with him just like they stuck with Mike Tomlin and chose stability over change, it is really interesting. We will talk about that during the 10 o'clock hour, along with more of your calls. We got to play a little catch up here because I know a lot of you want to get your thoughts.
Yeah,
in.
I have a lot to say on Ron's points though, so I'll wait till the break and get back to it because I thought there was some stuff that I disagree with Ron pretty vehemently.
You will get your chance to disagree after you get your chance to tell us about American Family Insurance.
Well, American Family Insurance has been a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump, and since 1927, they've been committed to making life better with outstanding home and auto protection, all so you're free to enjoy your dreams. So insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Join before January 31st to get the lowest rates of 2026. Make sure you join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, which will include more of your calls. But first, Tausch, the floor is yours after Ron's call, which I thought made a lot of interesting points.
Absolutely, he did.
Not sure I agreed with his. It was a harsh critique of the previous quarterback. I think he cared about winning championships. I think he understood his legacy and what it may be lacking at this juncture. But the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, and part of that is, you had that championship window and you didn't get it done when you had opportunities to do it. Now, you could put it on Rodgers, which everybody does, but that's also Matt LaFleur's resume. So is he opening another window? Did Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur and everybody associated with the Packers, when you talked to them after they traded Aaron Rodgers, did any of them ever say we were rebuilding?
No, they did not.
They were adamant to say we're not rebuilding. Now, there's what you say and what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue that maybe the worst thing, but the best thing that happened to Matt LaFleur and Goody, and for certain, Anders J. Carlson, was that team in Jordan's first year ripped off what they did and kind of gave you a picture that this can happen a lot faster. None of us went into that season thinking they were winning a championship. Nobody. And then when they beat Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs up at Lambeau, I remember distinctly when I first started saying, I'm not saying, but I'm saying. That was on the postgame. Because that was as big boy of a win in the regular season as Matt LaFleur had. And that process took away everybody else's thoughts that Ron is saying. And I'm not even I disagree because I listened to what the players in the arena tell me, and I'll seed through some of their BS. But they believed that they weren't rebuilding. And then, by the way, they weren't rebuilding. Because that year, whether you like to admit it or not, that championship window went from no way to, oh, she's wide open, let's jump through.
Yeah.
And then we didn't. And from that point on, I'm sorry, I don't care how young your roster is. Ask Mike McCarthy what he thought about his young rosters all the time and if the expectations changed when you had the guy. Because they don't.
They don't.
And they
You're
don't
right.
in Green Bay. So all of that you're saying, yeah, but that's not how it works in Green Bay. It's just not. And that's what makes this place different. So while Ron's points, there is no doubt in my mind, his last point that he mentioned about LaFleur being judged on this 2 or 3 year window, yes, this 2 or 3 year window needs to yield a championship. Not, a 4 seed and a playoff win or this or that. It is championship because we made the moves and we believe when they sign Tucker Kraft and when they get everything done, they think they got the roster and the core to do it. And they thought they had it this year, and unfortunately injuries did derail it. But now when you bring back everybody, Mr. Policy is telling you we're winning a championship. This is what it is. None of the other stuff, that is not going to be good enough. That's what that tells me.
So I want to get to calls. I'm sorry to keep people waiting, but I want to ask you a follow-up because, I like to ask follow-up questions. That's how it is in Green Bay, is what you just said. It's different than other places. I can tell you that Mike McCarthy did not enjoy having perpetually young rosters. And I can tell you that Matt LaFleur understands the pitfalls of that as well. So my question to you, because I think you and I agree that the overarching mentality of younger players, because they get hurt less often, and there's a lot of appeal to younger players on your roster. But when I always say I just want a few veterans, and I'm not talking 35-year-old broken down guys. I'm talking guys that have had their 30th birthday, that have their second contracts, and you have to choose wisely on your second contracts. And right now, Goody's track record on second contracts of guys that he has chosen to keep has been uneven, and his third contracts have really been. But is it possible to meld what they do with a little bit more of what other teams do? And maybe that is the secret sauce that gets them further than they've gotten.
Sure.
Thanks. Let's get to your calls. Dynamite drop in, Monty. Let's go to Thomas in Chicago. Thomas, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I am uneasy with this bringing everyone back because
good word.
What have they shown you? What have they shown you to do this? And then I just feel like the fans that are like, let's bring him back, let's do this. I feel like the fans are like, sure, let's do it. They're taking after what the Packers are showing you. If they're not risking it, going all in, buy in like other teams and other sports do, then you're not going to think like that. You're going to think of the actions and the decision making of what your team that you root for or cover go by. And then to the whole point of Matt LaFleur has so many years. Did you guys look at the Rams defense or the offense? A lot of them are all rounds 5 through 7 are undrafted. So how come the Rams and the Niners and the Seahawks can get the best out of those players, and we cannot? And then another point for this is, everyone wants to point to, LaFleur. Put it on Goody. I mean, his decision-making process, the whole, if Gary and Ellen Jenkins go, that's only one player left of the first 6 draft classes. Mm-hmm. And, the whole point that, Ron said you need championships instead of superstars. So was Tom Brady not a superstar? Was Gronk not a superstar? Was Elman not a superstar? You need superstars. It is a star-driven league. So is Stafford not a superstar? Is Puka? We can go on and on and on.
Good
you
counterpoint.
Need superstars and stars to win. You can't rely on the whole thing. Gabe keeps harping on us on Gabe, Chewy, and Jen. He says, with Micah Parsons out, our defense was trash. You cannot rely on one guy to change a whole defense. One guy cannot make Carrington Valentine tackle or Keyshawn to be a bonehead idiot. You need other guys to rely on. When the Rams need to bow up and bow down in overtime, they can rely on the front to get to Caleb Williams and the backfield to just settle down into the zones. You need a complete roster and superstars to change games. Not one guy, because it's not basketball where one guy can take over the game with the basketball in hands. You need multiple guys to do it. So that's all. I'm sorry if I went too long. I just got upset about.
No need to apologize. That's why we're here, Thomas. We appreciate the call. The key is to draft superstars and have them become superstars, right? Draft players that become that. And we thought Rashawn Gary would become one of those. Again, the reason why they needed to acquire Micah Parsons, who was drafted 12th overall in 2021, is because the player that they drafted 12th overall in 2019 did not become that player. whether it was his ACL tear or whatever else, if he becomes the player you're hoping he is when you pay him the 4-year, $96 million extension, you don't trade for Micah Parsons because you have your own homegrown pass rushing star. So for whatever reason it didn't happen, it didn't happen. They were incredibly smart to sign Xavier McKinney for pretty reasonable money when you look at the grand scheme of things. The dude's been an All-Pro both years he's been here. First team last year, second team this year. So, I don't want this to become, I think Goody sucks. That is not what I think here. My feeling, much like in Buffalo, where they fired the coach, is that general managers seem to escape the level of scrutiny that coaches face. That's all my point is. And I think when I look at where this roster is, I'm curious to see where it will go because they have some challenges facing them this offseason.
Yeah, they do. And they have to get it right. And they need you look at last year's draft class, they need a bunch of these guys to be players. Belton looks like he's going to be a player. All of a sudden, Golden, the way he finished up, it went from being, he stinks to, okay, all right, maybe he's something. Sorrell. They need some of these guys to elevate because for as much as everybody gave Ted grief about not dabbling in the free agency market as much, Goody has probably done more than we thought, and he's been pretty dang good. Last year was not his best. And would that have changed things? He's not going to be able to be very active in this year's free agency. He maybe can get one crack at it, but he is going to have to do this via draft and developing his guys that he's drafted last year and 2 years ago.
All right, we'll get some more of your calls. I'm trying to strike that balance because Tausch has insight that I want to hear as well. 844-770-3776. Josh in Kenosha, the Bears fan, you're up next when we return. Want to remind you, I saw David Gruber over the weekend. He's the best. Gruber offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Hopefully you never have to make that call. Hopefully you've never been injured in an accident. Saw a few accidents on our drive, on our way back, with these snowy conditions. It's dangerous out there. Accidents happen. Make sure you're taken care of if you've been injured. Gruber offices, one call. That's all. More calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution, and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
With your Saginiac Pawnee Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Marquette showed flashes early on at DePaul, but couldn't close it out, dropping an 80-75 decision in Chicago as Marquette fell to 6-13 overall and 1-7 in Big East play. Royce Parham provided energy on both ends for the Golden Eagles. The sophomore forward finished with a strong all-around effort, including 14 points, helping keep the Golden Eagles competitive into the final minutes.
Back further out to Parham. He's got an open three. Good.
Tough shot off the dribble.
Royce Parham, huge three.
Marquette returns home tonight to face Providence at Fiserv Forum.
Medicare won't cover everything. That's why you should consider a Medicare supplement. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance helps reduce those out-of-pocket costs when you need medical care. And it's guaranteed renewable for life as long as premiums are paid. Call Saganiac Planning today, 262-783-6161. Ask about WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent. Neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents nor products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Cudahy senior guard Anthony Brooks. Brooks delivered a historic week for the Packers on the court, helping Cudahy earn 2 wins and continue a strong start to the 2025-26 season. In a 110-78 victory over Random Lake, Brooks poured in 54 points, setting both the school record for points in a game and the program's single-game individual scoring record. The 110 points also marked the most scored by Cudahy in a game since the 1969-70 season. He followed up that performance by leading the Packers to a 65-64 win over South Milwaukee, scoring 29 points and hitting 4 clutch free throws late to secure Cudahy's first non-conference win since January of 2023. Congratulations to Anthony Brooks, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Don't miss a full day of nonstop basketball action at the Deer District Prep Showcase Saturday, January 24th at Fiserv Forum. See the next generation of stars as 12 elite high school boys basketball teams take over the court for 6 can't-miss games. Watch Slinger, Freedom, Arrowhead, West Dallas Central, Racine Lutheran, and more, all in one place. General admission is just $20, and that gets you access to all 6 games. Check the full schedule and grab your tickets now at FiservForum.com. Be there. Feel the energy. The Deer District Prep Showcase Saturday, January 24th.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Let's get back to your calls. As promised. Do we like Josh in Kenosha, the Bears fan? Or is he one of those jerkweedy
No,
Bears
he's
fans?
a good one. He's a good one.
I thought so. We'll find out together now. Josh, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Good morning. All things considered, I'm doing great. I get to talk to you guys. So a pretty good consolation to being eliminated last night. So
see, you're the kind of Bears fan I feel bad for. There's just not enough of you.
Yeah, David Kaplan's a little annoying. I appreciate his enthusiasm and stuff, but he gets a little carried away, and it makes the rest of us look bad. Yeah. Yeah, I'm more of the Waddle and Sylvie kind of guy.
In my experience, Josh is more the minority of Bears fans that I've encountered in my life, so I don't generally feel bad for them, but yeah.
All right, Josh, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you guys are fine. It's your show. You get the floor. So as a Bears fan looking at it from an outside perspective, I think it was a practical decision to keep LaFleur.
Good word.
We as fans get very emotional, and sometimes we're way more invested than players, coaches, staff. And if you look at it from a logical perspective, who are you going to get that's better than Matt LaFleur currently available? And who is going to come in that's an established coach who's going to sit here and accept the power dynamic that there is? Most other franchises, as far as I'm aware, the head coach has a say with personnel and players, and also is not on the same level power as the GM. So it's a weird system they have in place in Green Bay, and I don't know why they did it that way. But the other part of it is Brian Gutekunst has really gotten off easy with this. A lot of his decisions have been average at best. Why would you go out and spend $77 million on a left guard when you already had a Pro Bowl level left guard instead of just re-signing your center in free agency to keep your offensive line intact, which to me, that started the problems this year for the Packers. I also want to tell the fans, I'm not making excuses for you, but this year you got derailed by injuries. Look at the Lions last year. All the injuries they had, they got knocked out by an upstart Washington team. I feel for you. I really do. If you guys are healthy, you're a Super Bowl caliber team. I really think you guys have a great structure and foundation. You just need a retooling of sorts, right? Like, you got to fix your special teams. Get rid of Bisaccia. Go contact Dave Tobe, who was with the Bears all them years with Devin Hester, who then went to Kansas City with Andy Reid. Get a guy like that or someone from his tree, and get a new OC. Get someone who can actually run an offense, even if he's not a play caller, because I'm not sure who Adam Stenavich really is. I don't know what kind of style he likes. I don't know what he brought to the table for y'all. But get somebody who's not a yes man. Get somebody who's never worked with LaFleur to, I don't want to say be combative against him, but who's going to, like you said, bring in new ideas and have a fresh set of eyes. Mm-hmm. And if Jeff Hafley does leave, you guys might want to reach out to Sean McDermott to run a defense. Just throwing that out there.
Josh, great
Josh
call.
Having all kinds of solutions for the
Yeah,
GG.
you like solutions.
I'm gonna give the Bears, since Josh gave some good advice to Packer fans and to the Packers, I'm giving the Bears some advice.
Okay.
Don't think that you're as close as you are.
Ooh.
You had a great season, and I'm not taking anything away from them. They won a lot of close games with a great turnover margin.
Uh-huh.
That is not sustainable in this league. Your quarterback needs to get better completion-wise. You cannot win in this league in the mid-50s. You won't. I promise you, you won't.
You're right.
And if you think that you're only one player away, or I heard somebody on Get Up this morning say, like the Washington Commanders, they went out and signed some old guys and thinking, we're right there. I remember we thought after the tough loss in Philadelphia back in my era, well, we're a punter away from winning. That wasn't the case. You're never just one player away. And for Bear fans, I'm going to just tell you, your schedule is going to be tougher. You got a pissed-off Packers operation that is going to come gunning. I promise you, the line, I hope you think, let's go get one big-time pass rusher, and that's going to solve all our problems. And I'm telling you right now, go for it. But don't think that you're that close, because everybody falls back to the bottom of the mountain. You ain't close to Mount Everest anymore. After last night, you slipped and you fell and it is a painful slide down. You're taking ice chunks to the face and you're gashing yourself. You finally got there. Now you're back at the bottom of the hill and you're like, I need to get the hell out of here and go somewhere warm and reset, and then climb back to base camp where every other team is going to be. That is a long, hard, arduous journey. And don't believe that you're going to start anywhere close to the top because you finished the division first and you got to the divisional round, because you don't. That ain't how this world works. That's my advice to you, Bear fans.
I'm happy we have so many people who listen to the show. I'm confused by Josh just because he's offering advice to help the Packers as a Bears fan. It's just an interesting place to be. I'm glad he listens to the show. We appreciate that,
and we'll give him some advice too. And
I thought your advice was pretty good.
I wonder if the Bears are going to think that, because you can get high on your own smell of your own glue, if you will, and start believing what you think and what you smell.
Never
and it's
heard
like,
that saying before.
Well, I don't have. Come up with something better, guys. It can't just be me always doing this. It'd be nice if you'd chime in. I don't have any. I don't have it. Okay.
High on the smell of your own glue.
Saying, get high on the smell of your own glue.
When you start thinking
that.
You can always say you don't think your own crap stinks. Like, that's the easy way of saying it. But you can get hooked on the smell of your own whatever. And that can be intoxicating.
Sauce.
But it also can knock you out.
Mom's spaghetti.
Like,
let's get to another call.
I like the analogy, Mr. Tauscher.
Let's go to Spencer in Minnesota, who is a Packers fan living in Vikings country. Spencer, good morning. How are you today?
Boy, they were close last year, too, weren't you?
They were. There were a lot of close games.
How'd that turn out?
Well, they decided to move on from the quarterback who, despite his faults, does have them his new team in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Spencer, sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, so I didn't call in last week. I guess my one word for LaFleur coming back would be, yeah. It's
yeah.
I like LaFleur. Like, he has his faults, but it's just like for instance, just the Bears. Like, I hate how much I never cared about the Bears before, and now I absolutely despise them. I grew up in Superior, Wisconsin, so it was always Vikings were like the number one rivalry for me. And never cared about the Bears other than this year. I mean, what I would say, and my thought right after the loss to the Bears, was the Chicago Bears could not have picked a better head coach for the Packers in 2025 than Matt LaFleur. Like, he created an environment that really pushed the Bears to the next level. No other coach would have had two collapses the way that we had in those last two Bears games that we had. So I don't know. And I called in too. This isn't building up great for what my point is, but like after the Eagles or Panthers game, how if the season ends with a total collapse, we should move on from LaFleur. But just with the injuries and the kicker and all that, it's like, I think we got to go back with Matt LaFleur. You guys, the big point was how many head coaches have made it to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, whatever it is, after 7 seasons. My question is, how many head coaches have won a Super Bowl in their first year as a head coach for a team, or maybe even their second year as a head coach for a team? Because the way you look at the way this roster is constructed right now, like, we have our shot next year, the year after that we're going to have to pay some guys. And I'd rather run it back with Matt LaFleur, especially just looking at who we're going to have with Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, some guys who are going into contract years. And again, there was no home run options out in the market. The biggest thing for LaFleur is, like, right now I'm fine. I'm about him coming back. If he doesn't make any coaching changes, I would take that back and say, hey, you got to try something fresh. Most of my stuff is negative here. God, I didn't think I was this negative. And then the other thing I would say is, remember this time last year how we were talking about how Matt LaFleur had mentioned that Jordan Love needs to take a step and be more of a leader. It seems like Matt LaFleur needs to kind of look within himself and do that same thing. Again, with the Bears, it's like Ben Johnson would use anything to motivate his team and have bulletin board material.
That he will.
It almost feels like Matt LaFleur will do anything. I don't know what it's like in the locker room, but just the way it comes across, it seems like he kind of avoids that. So
I think that's fair.
I don't know.
Spencer,
I'm still high on Matt LaFleur.
Spencer, did you call in thinking you were calling in a positive vein, and then you took yourself by surprise with how negative you were? Because I kind of like the self-awareness that you kind of realized that about halfway through the call. Well, I guess I'm kind of negative on this whole thing after all.
Next year is the year, and it's just Matt LaFleur makes the most sense. And Jordan Love again, too.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because we got a bunch of calls I want to get to still, okay? If next year they advance to the NFC Championship game and lose, they stay healthy, their studs come back from their ACL tears, and Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons, they are both the players that they were before their injury. Kind of like Christian Watson is even better than he was before his injury, as opposed to Rashawn Gary, who was not elite before his injury and definitely was not after. If they make it to an NFC Championship game and lose, and it sets the stage for maybe in 2027 they get to that Super Bowl, Are you okay if they make it to an NFC Championship game next year and lose? Is that good enough? Is that enough improvement for you to say, okay, I feel better than when it comes to Matt LaFleur?
I would say so. It's every year is different. How you lose is different. How good is the NFC next year? But I would say yes. And I mean, with LaFleur, I mean, his contract, that's kind of the deal too. Because doesn't the contract not really matter? Because say we fire him after a year or two,
it could. Sure,
it's a guaranteed contract. But if another team hires him, it doesn't really affect the Packers all that much.
No, I'm sure there's offset language. I would think that he's got the next 2 years, and if it doesn't happen in the next 2 years, then they'll eat what remains and let somebody else pay it when they hire him as their coach, and that's how it'll be. But as of now, I'm just curious what the bar is for next year that you will say it's good that they brought him back. And we'll ask other people that as well. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Spencer.
Jason, here's the deal, though, and this is where, tell me I'm crazy, but every year stands on its own.
It does.
This isn't the Bulls having to fight and scrap and battle against the Pistons and get their growth and growth and growth. It's different. It's all different. So if Green Bay stays healthy, they got to win a championship, period. Nobody cares if, they grew this year and they went to the NFC divisional round. Is that good experience for guys? Yes, but it's also scarring. Anybody saying, Josh Allen did this, or is it going to be great for C.J. Stroud? Well, he's gotten to the divisional round now 3 years. That's great growth. No.
Yeah, I'm not. Let me just clarify that, because you're 1,000% right. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of crap that can happen that you can be the best team and you still find a way to lose. And Matt LaFleur has certainly had those games.
Yes.
It's really hard to get to the Super Bowl. And so what I'm saying
you have to have luck.
Let's say you don't get that luck, whatever it is. I mean, look, I understand that the guy in coverage on Cole Kmet, who had, I believe, an interception earlier in the game. Look, I don't know how he allowed Cole Kmet behind him. He was calling for the pass interference, but you heard the official
that would have gotten called.
That was just hand fighting.
That would have been amazingly stupid.
So my point is that sometimes you are going to be unlucky. But if they make those kind of steps, let's say they're not the number 1 seed. Let's say they win the division, they're the number 2 seed, they win their first-round playoff game, they win at home in the divisional round, they get to the NFC Championship game, and they lose a close game. I'm not saying that that's good enough. I'm not saying you should be satisfied. What I'm saying is, would that be enough evidence that, hey, keeping this guy was worthwhile, and our championship window is open. And now we just got to have it happen on the day that decides whether we go to the Super Bowl or not. Right? I mean, the Packers won an NFC Championship game in Chicago with Aaron Rodgers' best play being tackling Brian Urlacher after he threw a pick at the goal line. You guys still won a game that way. And so there's a lot of ways to win, and there's a lot of ways to lose when the Super Bowl is on the line.
And by the way, Sean McVay, after the game last night, said he called a crap game.
Yes.
That defense that we saw where we torched him in the first half, Dennis Allen deserves a ton of credit. Chicago does not have a ton of talent, and they shut down the Rams pretty consistently last night.
Yes.
But they Devontae makes the big play. Puka makes a big play.
Yes.
Stafford didn't play great, but I thought he hit the nail on the head. It comes down to he didn't turn it over. He didn't make a big mistake. And they ended up finding a way to win a game that, quite frankly, they shouldn't.
Yep.
And that is the resiliency, and is that maybe having a few veterans? That's a question that you figure out. But Devontae did not have a big night, but he made a big play in a big moment.
Mm-hmm. No doubt
so
about
Matt LaFleur is going to – you don't extend him if you don't think that he's got a few years window. If they stink next year, which nobody expects to happen – does that mean they'd fire him? I don't know the answer to that. But if he gets in the playoffs and they don't win, it's going to be the same narrative that we have right now, which is he is a good coach, but he ain't a great coach.
Yep. Totally.
And that ain't going to change until he goes all the way. It's not going to be good enough to get to an NFC Championship game and get beat, because this whole notion of, I think we still romanticize about 90 sports. There isn't the same amount of scarring and buildup. Now, some of your core players will learn and hopefully get better, but this whole concept of you have to take your lumps in order to get there, no, you don't.
No, you're right.
We've seen it.
You're right. And you're also right about Jones Dairy Farm and how awesome that team is over there.
Jones Dairy Farm, family-owned and operated, 7 generations in Fort Atkinson, all the way back to 1889. You should check the videos out of me and Grace, the great volleyball player. We did a cook-off. I got robbed. No big deal. Just like
Tucker
some of the
Kraft's
refereeing
fault.
in the Bills game. It happens. But what we all had was great food and great ingredients, and that was from Jones Dairy. Best known for their all-natural sausage, made from the original family recipe, available in pork, chicken, and turkey. You know I love the pork. You crust it. You make the orchetta. You put a little spinach in there, and then you put all that great natural pork in there. It is a great dish. You can find all of Jones products in grocery stores across Wisconsin. Check the website's product finder at jonesdairyfarm.com.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own-plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Get to a few more of your calls. My apologies if you've been waiting a long time.
Jason, quick question for you.
Of course,
before we get to
sure.
your calls.
Would love that.
We just did a great little Digi-Only that Jesse organized. Great job, Jesse. Your week's off to a great start. And longest tenured coach is Matt LaFleur is right there.
Fourth, I
He's
think,
fourth.
right?
And the other coach hired with him, Zach Taylor from Cincy. And as a would you rather have Zach Taylor's resume or Matt LaFleur's? Obviously, regular season record-wise and getting to postseasons much more so with Matt LaFleur. But he has not been to a Super Bowl, and Zach has.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
They did not win that Super Bowl, correct?
They did not. They should have. They got, I think, robbed with a BS call at the end of the game, but that's neither here nor there.
Zach Taylor's career record is 52-63-1 in the regular season.
That's not great. No, it's
and
not great.
5-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a playoff coach. Maybe you bring Zach Taylor in after he gets fired next year as the playoff assistant.
Matt LaFleur, 76-40-1 in the regular season, 3-6 in the playoffs.
So I'm going to tell you this right now, J-Dub. Had Zach Taylor been hired for the G&G and had his exact same thing happen that he's done in Cincy, he'd have been fired 2 years ago.
Yep.
Not even close. The Cincinnati Bengals, while some folks and Robbie D got after folks, talking about how cheap the Packers are, the Packers would not have put up with that. The Cincinnati Bengals are probably one of the only organizations that are keeping Zach Taylor, and it's because they don't want to pay somebody else. Those are just the facts, Jack.
I knew you were going to do that. All right, let's go to Dan in Toma. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that have sat on hold. I would like to get to all of them, not right
Let's get
this
2 here.
segment.
Let's go.
Let's
Pick it
get
up.
2 here.
Pick the pace up. There you go. Trying to help you.
Really? Before you get to the calls.
Wow, the Digi-Only was fun. It was interesting.
It was. Great job. You guys did a great job. I saw the answers when I got back. I would have gotten all but Nick Sirianni. Let's go to Dan and Toma. Dan, good morning. Welcome to Wilde Tausch. Thanks for holding. What do you got?
Yeah, thanks a lot. The question I have is, with the position that the Packers are in, they're going to probably lose their defensive coordinator.
Probably.
Their special teams are junk. Their offensive line is junk. They got first-round draft picks they're going to have to let go or re-sign or restructure. Do you think that's the reason they didn't hire a new coach? Because it's too much on his plate? They're in the bottom of the bottom of NFL and salary cap moves.
Now that's a really interesting question, Dan, and I mean that. That sounded less authentic than I meant it to sound because I'm intrigued.
I didn't feel like you were being snarky there.
Okay, good, because I felt I didn't like the way it sounded.
You didn't come across that.
That's a really good question, and I'm because when you put it that way, I mean, there's a less than there's a more than zero chance, less than whatever that saying is. There's a chance that they will have 3 new coordinators next year, right? I don't necessarily think that that's the likely scenario, but there's a chance of that. And that's either a challenge or an opportunity, depending on how you look at it. Because if you think a couple of them aren't very good, but one is good, but you're going to lose them to a head coaching job, how big is it, Tausch? Because he's right about the offensive line, by the way. Dan's right about that. They're going to potentially have 3 new starters on their offensive line, and one of them is a first-round pick that has not had a lot of opportunities at his most comfortable position, but also has not shown a lot like you feel really good about him taking over as your left tackle in Jordan Morgan. How do you view how huge it will be to hire correctly however many coordinators he has to hire? Because that's borderline a reset there of your coaching staff.
Yeah. I mean, I think he obviously needs to get that right. Oh, so I misunderstood. I thought he was saying because it's going to cost and everything else, that's why you kept LaFleur, and that none of that is correlated at all.
No, I thought it sounded to me like he meant that because it's a lot, you would be setting up a new coach to potentially fail because of so much that they're up against that you keep the continuity, which gives you a better chance of dealing with all that adversity. That's how I took it. But that might be just me.
Okay, well, maybe we maybe misinterpreted how it was interpreted, so I don't necessarily know. But to answer your question, you better look at it as this is a huge chance to reset and reinvigorate my staff and my football team. Because those people that you're hiring are speaking in front of your units and are big-time leaders and set the tone for those units on top of you as the head football coach. So you better get it right. And you better hire the right people, because if you don't, it's going to come back to you, nobody else.
Indeed. I didn't realize we still have one more segment left in the 10 o'clock hour at 10:59. So I'm going to tell you about Associated Bank, and then we will get to Trell on the north side, Mike and Franklin and everyone else before we kick off the 11 o'clock hour. Associated Bank, best customer service in the industry. They've got the awards to prove it. We had so much fun this year doing our 3 things to watch presented by Associated Bank on our social media channels that we're bringing it back next season. So be sure to be on the lookout for that from the very jump of the season. And when you are thinking about making a change in banks, check out AssociatedBank.com. It's not branches that make a bank local. It's roots. And Associated Bank's roots are deep in Wisconsin. More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
I had nightmares at my birth mom's house. It was really scary living there. There were always drugs in the house. The police came, and that's when I was placed into foster care.
Right now in the U.S., more than 100,000 children, like Ariana, are waiting for a family.
Once I was adopted, I definitely felt safe.
Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find permanent homes for children in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Mark Tausch here for Iron Jock. If you're still working on your New Year's resolutions, right now, congrats! You've officially made it past Quitter's Day. More than 70% of people give up by now, so take your win. Iron Jock wants to reward you. From now through January 27th, our listeners can get 30% off any Iron Jock purchase over $75 when you use promo code ESPN30. And you also score a free 3-pack of Iron Jock socks at $25 value. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree.
To serve a full term as a president? To train for something big and become someone new?
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
It pretty much hurt doing anything. I couldn't ride a bicycle. You don't have your life because you don't have your mobility.
So when Patrick heard about QC Kinetics and their non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain, no waiting, he called them immediately.
There's no downtime. There's no rehab. That was the tipping point for me. I didn't have to take any drugs. I didn't have to rehab.
Before considering surgery, check out QC Kinetics all-natural treatment options that restore and repair damaged joint tissue in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
If you have knee replacement surgery, and then the knee is not yours, and there's no guarantee that that's going to be successful.
QC Kinetics. Patients around the country are raving about the results. They're getting back their mobility, taking back their lives with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Another call before the 11 o'clock hour starts late. Wow, kicking it old school. This guy was with us even before we were us. Used to call Green and Gold today. Great to hear from him. It's Trell on the north side. Trell! Dare I ask, where you been, man? It's been forever.
Hey, I can't get, you guys got one of the top shows, man. You know, I'm not able to get in as often, but I try to give you a call every so often, and every so often I'm able to get in. So that's how it goes, you know?
So it was much better when I was doing the show without Tausch, and we were way less popular. We were way more accessible for you.
I think you used to work with people who like arguing with me a lot, like Bill Johnson and so on. So, you know.
That's also fair.
But I would say this, Jason. I think my word is devaluation. That's my word. I think the standard has been lessened, and it's not what it usually has been. We haven't won a Division 4 going on 5 years. I can't remember when the Bears handled us as bad as they handled us this year. And I've been a Packer fan for 40 years. Mm-hmm. I just can't remember a coach. I don't even think it happened under Lindy and Fonte. I think that was something that he didn't even allow to happen. Maybe they had it that 1 year, 85, when they won a Super Bowl, but for the most part, that just doesn't happen around these parts. And for it to happen under Matt LaFleur's watch, then they handled us rough for a couple of years. So pretty much every team in the division has handled the Packers pretty rough under LaFleur's watch. That's one thing. So that's why I say the standard. The next thing is that we haven't won the division. That's one thing, but playoffs, 3-6 record in the playoffs. Like, that's not pretty acceptable. And I understand all the excuses. My thing that I look at is that this guy has had Aaron Rodgers at quarterback in the NFC Championship game. And the second half against Tampa Bay, we didn't score a touchdown. We scored 6 points. Now he has a whole new quarterback years later, Jordan Love, where he had 3 years under his belt. And we're up big in the first half against our rival, Chicago Bears. In the second half, we scored 6 points a game. So when you start seeing things that are similarities, regardless of the cast of people that's around, but that person is actually the one that's always there, you got to start looking at that. And I just think the Packers, to some degree, panic because they're looking at it like, who else we're going to hire? Who was Matt LaFleur before you hired him? I mean, he was a 26th ranked offensive coach of the Tennessee Titans. So, I mean, who was the Buccaneers fired Tony Dungy? He was a hell of a good coach, and they hired John Gruden, and they won a Super Bowl. So sometimes it's not about who you can get is their name. It's about you doing your due diligence as far as your research and your preparation. You hire the guy who you believe in, and you go with that. It's all this stuck and stagnant energy about, we can't just we're too close to Super Bowl. Where if you're close to Super Bowl, that means you have a lot of talent. So talent wins over everything. So it's another coach out there that can get the job done. And I just got an issue with LaFleur because, simple fact, he gets tight in these games. And that's something, if a coach has that, maybe Bill Carr, maybe another 10 years, maybe another 8 years, he'll get through the hump eventually. But when you got a coach like that, they don't really get through the hump. That doesn't change too often. And that's my thing with that. Like I said, I'm a Green Bay Packer fan. I'm going to support this team regardless, and they're going to be the one to make the decisions. But I don't believe in Matt LaFleur. I'm just going to say that. If he proves me wrong, I'll be the first to come on here and say, hey, I was wrong.
Yeah.
He got it done. But from what I have seen, I don't. I just don't have any belief that he can get it done in crunch time when it's tight and he has to face some type of adversity. I don't see it.
Trell, I love the word you chose, and I want to ask Tausch about it before we get to the 11 o'clock hour. So great to hear from you. Thanks for the call. Devaluation. Have we, because this is the argument, and by the way, he's totally right. I said this early on, and I was just wrong to say it. I will be the first to admit it. This idea of, well, who are you going to get instead? Who's going to be better? Like Mike McCarthy presided over the worst offense in football, and he won a Super Bowl when he got the head coaching job, and got you guys to an NFC Championship game in year 2, by the way. But devaluation, I think that's the argument that I saw from a number of fans, people calling them an unserious franchise. And my response was, they traded for Micah Parsons. Like, you can say that they've been inept. You can say that they've failed. But I think they're serious about winning. But there is a feeling.
They haven't been inept. There's nothing inept about what the
right. I'm saying if you want to criticize them, they have been inept in the postseason, whatever it is. But unserious, they're serious about wanting to win. But there is a perception among some fans that they're okay with just contending, and they're not serious about winning a title. And devaluation is a word that kind of strikes at that feeling that I've heard from some fans.
Yeah, I would never use the term inept as we're sitting here right now. I would not use I don't think it's devaluation. I think the majority of fans that aren't happy about this look at this as being complacent. I think there's more complacencies like, this is what we are. And if you just look at it, from one line and say, yeah, well, I know this argument is getting old, but this is what I said was going to happen if we lost to the Bears is 7 seed. Can't win a big game. This is the narrative. Unfortunately, the only way to change a narrative is by changing the result and by changing what that looks like. And right now, we are a team that can't win the division. We're not the best of the division. The division's only going to get more difficult, not going to get easier, and we need to get better. And we have gotten, in some places, better. To me, if we don't get the O-line fixed, all of this is going to be just words.
You're right.
And I don't have a problem with Brian Gutekunst saying last year while the regular season was, I thought, okay, you get that postseason game against Philly, who, by the way, got dogs all over the place and won a World's Championship with that group, manhandling you. It changed. That narrative needed to change, and unfortunately, I don't think we got better. And now that task is even more cumbersome in trying to fix and more unknown than what it was. But if that doesn't get fixed and get better, I don't know if we're going to be able to change many narratives about where we're at with this team.
And I would say that one of the reactions to that loss, as we've talked about many times, was to change the way their offensive line looked and be more like Philly's offensive line, and I'm not sure it worked. I don't think it did. So you have to also be careful about how you react to different things that do happen.
It did or didn't. We didn't run the ball more effectively. We had way too much leakage, and our protection, while it was okay, it was inconsistent. And when we needed it in that second half against the Bears, it wasn't there.
No.
When we needed it in the big moments, it wasn't there. So the group, listen, man, I want to be the biggest advocate for O-line play. I don't want to criticize.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be, the boys were awesome. I don't think anybody could look at it this year and say that and feel good about saying it, including everybody over there.
Right.
Quite frankly.
We'll get to more of your calls in the 11 o'clock hour after I remind you to tune into the latest season of Behind the Bucks, the podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. The most recent one is called Locked In, and it's narrated by the legendary Marcus Johnson, who, on top of being one of my favorite players in my youth, is also an awesome dude. He's joined our show a number of times. I think the world of Marcus, and you can listen to him in the podcast Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. You can find that on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Conference play is here, and every game at the Kohl Center matters. Wisconsin men's basketball kicks off its Big Ten home slate, facing Ohio State, Michigan State, Iowa, and more. Grab single-game tickets to be a part of the action, or elevate your game day with premium seating, including all-inclusive food and beverage, and the best views in the house. Big matchups, Big Ten intensity, the Kohl Center is the place to be. Get your tickets at uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
The
pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Tausch, before we get some more calls, is there anything that's on your mind that I'm preventing you from sharing?
Nope. I will interject, of course, if I
Yes,
have
you
something
will.
on my mind, as you well know.
Indeed, you shall. All right, let's get back to your calls. Let's talk to Mike in Franklin first. Mike, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it. I'm on the road driving to Chicago, and I got to listen to these knuckleheads twice a week, so it was a good outcome with the Bear game. You know, it was a nice outcome that I liked. But I just was going to say, the word of the day for the Packers, I think, is credulous. And credulous is, I'm not trying to use a big word to be a wordsmith, basically it means naive. We're naive if we think anything's going to change with LaFleur. His playoff record is his playoff record. He seems, certain guys either crack under pressure. He seems to crack under pressure routinely, over and over and over. It's like every time they get into a big moment, he cracks. And I guess what I say by that is, now you look at the adjustments that the Bears made in the second half of the Packer Bears. You're up by 18 points. Now, again, I coached freshman football for 6 years, so I'm looking at it from this perspective. You got to keep him. Ben Johnson's a sharp cookie. You got to keep him on his toes. So what they should have done is put Malik Willis in just for a series or two, just to throw him off. Because guess what? When they came out of the second half, they were prepared for Jordan Love. And it would not have been prepared for Willis. You could have just thrown him off. And you have an 18-point lead. There's no reason they should have lost that game. And they gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter. And it's a broken record over and over and over. It's not going to change.
Well, first of all, credulous, great word. And I didn't feel like you were trying to be a wordsmith, but it's a really good word. Secondly, Matt LaFleur was actually asked about the idea of playing Malik Willis, and he basically admitted that his hamstring was not back to a point where they would have had to play him if something had happened to Jordan Love, because they certainly weren't going to play Clayton Tune, who was no longer employed, nor did they want to play Desmond Ridder, but he was not in a great place health-wise. I don't know if that would have mattered. You're up 21-3. I don't know if you're dinking around with putting in your backup quarterback. Just play better. And they obviously, their first four offensive series, which I think is what leads to that question from Mike, is they got 19 combined yards their first four series of the second half. And that was where the game was, in part, lost before the 25 points allowed by the defense. Tausch, you seem to
you're not
furrow your brow there.
No, you're not putting Malik Willis in. I mean, I get it. It's always after things go south, you want to look at, well, what could we have done different? What we could have done different is, maybe throw the football a little bit more on first down, not put yourself in a 2nd and 8 a bunch. Maybe run the football and have some effective running. It didn't feel like the Rams, while they didn't dominate running the football, they were able to run the ball better than what we did against that front, which is not a great front to stop the run. So there's 100 things, but one of the last on that list would be to sub out your $55 million quarterback with a backup that's got a bad hamstring. Not what I would advise, but what do I know?
Well, you know a lot, actually.
I know I do. I was asking that rhetorically. Trust me, I know a lot.
You're so smart, Mr. Tauscher.
Now that's a sound graph. Oh, I know. Trust me. I know a lot. That could be our new tagline.
That was very snarky, Jelly.
Let's get another call in before the next break. Let's talk to Clayton in Tennessee. Tennessee.
Oh, McCarthy country, hopefully.
Clayton, where in relation to the Smoky Mountains are you, and what are your thoughts on the Packers?
We're about an hour away from the Smoky Mountains. So,
okay.
We're fairly close. Yeah, nice. Pretty cool area down here, to be honest.
Dollywood. That's Dollywood country.
Tausch is big on Dollywood, yeah. Can't wait for her to come to Hard Rock Casino Rock.
Sevierville, Gatlinburg. Yeah, beautiful area down there.
The Dolly Parton Mafia down here. You say nothing negative about Dolly Parton down here, I promise.
No, I
love Dolly Parton.
Yeah, we love her.
I've been trying to get her up to Hard Rock Casino Rockford for 5 years. So
I think it's her 80th birthday today, by the way.
No.
I think today's her birthday.
How old?
80.
It's Dolly's birthday?
I think so.
God,
I thought I saw that today.
Does she have any royalty-free music we can play on our air?
No, I think she gets royalties for everything she's done.
It is her birthday today. What?
Told you!
Happy birthday, Dolly!
All right, Clayton, sorry to derail your call with our appreciation for Dolly Parton. What do you got for us?
I wouldn't be surprised if Dolly Parton gets royalties off of your show, to be honest with you. She's got her hands in everything. So.
She's a smart businesswoman.
We talk a lot about her, too, so that's very possible.
Absolutely. Now, with this whole Matt LaFleur thing, I'm happy to see the poll question, because every poll question I've seen on X, Bill Huber's, everyone that we've done, it's constantly 20-25% are mad about the Matt LaFleur extension, which surprised me, like you guys said, because it got really, really loud, but it seems like it's a vocal minority. But I got to be real. I've got to push back a little bit on Goody. I don't understand why he just gets a complete pass. Like, when you look at the playoff teams this year, one key statistic is of the remaining final 8 playoff teams, the Seahawks are the 23rd youngest, meaning they're obviously closer to being older than young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Texans 21st, Bills 18th, Bears 17th, 49ers 16th, Rams 15th, Patriots 14th, Broncos 11th. We've had the youngest roster in the league for 3 years in a row. To the best of my knowledge, only one team, and that was the Seattle Seahawks, had the youngest roster in the league, and that's debatable, according to some websites, to go on to win the Super Bowl. So if the goal is really to win the Super Bowl, man, the chips are stacked against us if we're going to continue to march out the youngest roster in the league. Now, in terms of, okay, we shifted gears and it's all right, let's fire Matt LaFleur, we finished 5th in passing in spot not having Tucker Kraft, Elton Jenkins, Christian Watson was out till November, Jaden Reed went out in week 2, missed most of the season, Josh Jacobs had a blown-up knee the last 6 weeks of the season. He still finishes 5th in passing, even missing all of those weapons on offense. And typically the argument goes to they're not aggressive enough, right? Matt LaFleur's not aggressive enough. He came out in the second half against the Bears, the first 4 drives threw 10 passes, only ran the ball 4 times. So it's actually quite the opposite. And again, when you look at the draft picks that are on the field, I mean, I can understand why they gave up 25 points in the fourth quarter to the Bears. You're talking about guys on the field. Your cornerbacks on each corner was an undrafted free agent and a 7th-round pick. That has nothing to do with Matt LaFleur. I mean, you can only coach the guys that are out there. And, again, I'm not calling for Goody to be fired. Please don't take this the wrong way. But this idea that it's all falls at Matt LaFleur's feet is just absolutely wild to me. I hear people saying, well, Anthony Belton was a good draft pick. He may very well be. Again, I'm not saying Anthony Belton's going to be a bad football player. But he was 89. He was the 89th graded guard. According to PFF, okay, you can throw it out the window if you want. But quarterback pressures allowed 77th. That's a legit stat. Run blocking grade was 84th, right? Aaron Banks was a miss at guard. That was a Goody pickup, right? Nate Hobbs, as it sits right now, seems like it's a miss. I think he was more banged up than Banksy. Hopefully they both get it together. Again, I don't want to see Goody fail. But my biggest problem here is why did the team collapse in the fourth quarter? It was penalties and it was clutch plays. So, Tauscher, I want to ask you, again, this isn't an excuse. It's a reason. Tauscher, you're a former player. If you're lined up on the game-winning drive, right, and you're playing offensive line, what would you rather have playing on each side of you? A rookie, unproven, or a 7-year vet who's been in the trenches before? And that's all I got to say. And again, the last tip and the last point here, and again, Tauscher, if you would answer that question for me, but there's one guy who's been there since 2018, right? Brian Gutekunst's got the job in 2018. Some say he was running the show behind the scenes before that, right? So we blame McCarthy. He got fired. Then it shifts to it's Rodgers. They run Rodgers out of town. Then it shifts to it's Joe Barry. They run Joe Barry out of town. Now we're ready to run Matt LaFleur out of town. In year 2, actually after just 1 year of what we said was a 3-year Super Bowl window. Like we gotta calm down. We had 16 guys on IR and a bunch of key players. But yeah, Tausch, if you'll answer that for me with the veteran player as opposed to a rookie. Appreciate you guys, man. Love the show.
That was a really good call. Really good call.
Yeah.
I'm
not a fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I did best week ever with my boy Bernsey yesterday, and he calls me Tauscher all the time. I don't like it. I like being Tausch.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I
so I'm going to say that first off, and I wish I knew Clayton's last name because I would then call him that. But
Kershaw.
I appreciate Clayton calling, and he's a big-time Dolly fan like I am. You want to play next to somebody that you know well. Now, if it was a 7th-year guy that couldn't move and couldn't pass off stunts, but if I'm answering his question generically, it would be a 7th-year guy.
Sure.
But if it was Josh Sitton as a first-year starter, but he's 14 games in and knowing how he plays, it'd be Josh Sitton. And so, you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's simple to say, I always want experience, but I don't always want experience. Some experiences aren't good. And when it's not good, I'd rather go young. So it's not a blanketed, always 7-year, although if I have to default to it, I would go with experience because they're probably craftier. They probably know, hey, this is coming.
Yeah.
You see things more. You communicate it better. So all of those things can be true, but it's not a blanketed deal.
You've got a lot of experience with various different hoodies and workout gear, and some of those experiences weren't positive. The quality wasn't there. That's why you're an Iron Jock guy now.
The stank. Some of that stank. Well, I don't have to worry about stank no more. Oh, new year, new goals, and Iron Jock is here to help you stick to them. Whether you're hitting the gym, heading to work, or just trying to smell a whole lot better in 2026, Iron Jock gear has you covered. Right now, ESPN listeners, take 30% off all Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Use that promo code ESPN30 at checkout. Again, that is ESPN30, that promo code, to get 30% off of an order of $75. Look good, smell great, and start the new year strong with Iron Jock.
More of your calls.
What was that?
I find myself never quite sure whether the Iron Jock.
He's out of rhythm. He's out of rhythm.
I crescendoed perfectly there. Sometimes I don't crescendo.
Perfectly.
That was a good crescendo. Good crescendo.
I think you
perfectly strong. It was a good crescendo. Jesse, you're the expert. Was that a good crescendo
It was a good enough crescendo. I think Jason starts slow and his rhythm gets better as the week goes on. I think, that's my assessment of that. I think you're a second half rhythm guy.
More Wilde and
sometimes
Tausch.
There's sometimes I don't finish it. There you go.
Bye.
This is Wilde.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Break down all the lines, the locks, and the long shots with a weekly wager.
Yes, we know you made it this far, but you lost the way we told you have to stop losing.
With Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
You were a better team, you had a big lead, and then you did what we saw you do 3 weeks previous?
Tune in Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation Course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation Course starts today.
It's about time pros had one partner for the whole job. Why juggle 10 different suppliers when one can do it all? At the Home Depot, you'll save with pricing built for pros. You'll stay on track with job site deliveries, scheduled, next day, or same day. And you'll get every size, every finish, every job lot quantity you need. One partner for the entire job. That's how pros get more done. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on. Let's get to a few more calls. Great job today, by the way, by our callers. I think we've had some good conversations. Some we disagree
very
with.
Strong.
But really
very
good
strong
thoughts, thoughtful calls. We appreciate you.
Jason, one thing I would say from almost everybody that has called, I don't think anybody is throwing a parade.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Excitement.
I agree.
Which is okay, too. You don't need a parade every day, especially it's so cold out. You don't want to be in a parade today.
No, today's a bad parade day.
Great soup day. Big boy soup day.
Oh, we made some chili yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, big boy soup day.
Thanks for sharing.
Soup would be great today.
How
like a nice
was the
fresh
chili,
lasagna
Chelsea?
soup.
Lasagna soup?
Yeah, lasagna soup is one of my favorites. Yeah, it's good.
It's good soup.
I'm not familiar. I'll have to check into that. I'm going to check into some more of your calls here first, though. Let's go to Horicon and talk to Caleb.
Country.
Caleb. I assume not Caleb Williams. Caleb and Horicon. Good morning, Caleb. How you doing?
Morning, guys. How are you?
I'm good. You sound very enthusiastic.
Well, here's the thing. Nobody's done this on the program yet, and it might be a little frowned upon. I might be going below the belt, as they say. But
oh dear!
I would just like to welcome.
Wait a minute.
I would just like to welcome the Bears.
Hold on. As long as you don't pull a Domofsky and start swearing.
Yeah, no curse
I think we're okay. So you speak your mind, Caleb. The floor is yours.
Yeah, no cussing. That was pretty awesome on Friday, though. Won't lie.
Pretty good. I liked it. Thought it was good.
We've got a gif now of Tausch doing this arm thing that he's, yeah, go get him. All right, go ahead.
I would just like to formally welcome the Bears to Cancun. They are a week late, but yeah, welcome to Cancun.
Yeah.
Also, on Matt LaFleur, I mean, I'm just at the acceptance point. I mean, the relationship he has with Jordan Love and how he's developed, I mean, this is a big 4 years for those two, especially the key pieces they got in Micah and Tucker Kraft. I mean, they are Super Bowl capable, and I'll give him 3 years. I mean, that's the bottom line. We can't change anything. We can argue about his past, but it's what the Packers are doing. So, yeah.
All right, Caleb. Appreciate the call, and thanks for welcoming the Bears to Cancun. That was a big meme yesterday. Surprised, I was intrigued.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And then I love that with Tom Brady when he's in court and he kind of gives a look back and gives that smile, like Matt LaFleur seeing Ben Johnson coming into the bar in Cancun, like, good to see you, you know what. How many years? What do you have any contract info on what LaFleur got?
I don't, and no one else does either. They've done a great job of keeping a lid on the number of years. I am going to guess, based on context clues.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
No, finish up. I don't want to interrupt you. Finish up.
This seems more important.
Yeah.
4 is my guess.
Okay.
That's my guess. I'm not reporting that. I'm guessing that. And I think the years matter to some degree, but not to a gigantic degree. Because
they matter. What are you talking about? They don't matter.
I don't think they give as. I don't think they give more years means more security, but not like ironclad security.
Oh, it's not all going to be guaranteed.
No, I think they're, and I'm not saying that this is the way you should do business, or maybe you should. I don't know. This is above my pay grade. But if you think you've got a guy that you decided you wanted to keep as the coach, but you also think that if you moved on from him, he would get a job right away, that gives you some measure of freedom, as Rob Domofsky pointed out when he wasn't swearing, that basically all that a guy can do that gets a new job with a new team is take 20% less, or whatever that rule is that he was referring to. Like,
yeah.
If next season goes to hell in a handbasket, and they're like, you know what, we totally screwed this up. Mm-hmm. They could still fire him. Like they're not going to. If things go to absolute crap, they stay healthy and they still don't succeed.
If you're not the Bengals, you'll fire somebody.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's all I'm saying. So
okay,
let's get another call in. Let's go to Atlanta and talk to Dave. Dave, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing?
Thanks a lot for taking the call. I really appreciate you guys. When I saw Caleb Williams run backwards, turn 360, throw it up for grabs, and then the tight end catches it in the end zone, I could only think of 2 words: Brett Favre. I mean, that's a guy who's got raw power, raw talent, and sometimes he just gets lucky, as the Bears just get lucky, and sometimes you don't get lucky. But, I mean, it probably sounds sacrilegious, but even think back to that Oakland game when his father died. If you really look at the tape, he did so many weird, I can't say the weird butt throws, and his receivers were on some sort of drug that just made circus catch after circus catch.
They rose up to the occasion. Hey, Dave, did you also think of Brett Favre when he threw the third interception of the game and they ended up losing?
Exactly right. And what Tausch said before was, in his advice to Bears fans, don't get used to it because you had a lot of things fall together. The Packers had a lot of things not fall together, but players play the game. A couple of callers ago, a guy was saying, he cracks under pressure. He always cracks. Okay, did LaFleur crack under pressure when 4 of our guys surrounded Loveland and he made that catch and nobody made a play on it? When Dobbs fumbles the onside effect, was that LaFleur cracking under pressure?
Nope.
Players play the game. And
You're
so
right, Dave.
you coach and you set up a system, and if guys screw up, it could be lucky, it could be good, it could be fortuitous, whatever. But I got one final word, aside from being a Dolly Parton fan and a Soup fan and all the other fandom.
You're perfect for this show.
It's the strange, really biting dichotomy of blaming the coach for stuff that happens on the field in a specific place. The dichotomy is guys like Harbaugh, guys like McDermott, they get fired because they didn't go far enough in the playoffs on an individual game, not their overall record, an individual playoff game. It's their fault. Oh, okay. But what about the dichotomy of our defense in the second half just collapses? Somehow that does not go on Hafley's record. They don't say Hafley is no good in the playoffs. They say LaFleur is no good at playoffs. And Hafley's going to not get fired. He's going to get a promotion.
Yeah,
so
true.
What did he do? How do we judge his last game? It sucked. He didn't do what he had to do, or was it the players?
Right.
Tausch, what do you think of that?
Great question to ask Tausch.
Yeah, the players are always going to be the ones that make the difference. But as I've said 100 times, it's a lot easier to fire one coach than to fire 10 players.
You're right about that.
Coaches' jobs are to put the right players in the right positions to make plays. And sometimes you don't have the right players, because I can tell you this, and this does sound like sour grapes and losing mentality and polluted mindset and all of the cliches you want. If Micah Parsons is out on that field, they're not scoring 25 points in the fourth quarter.
They're not.
They're
totally
not.
Agree.
So I get it. He wasn't. They had to adjust. The adjustments weren't good enough. And by the way, I agree with Dave's counterpoint on I don't even know how much Matt LaFleur is involved in the defense. I have no idea. I don't think it's a ton. And the defense is what lost that ball game. That was not that Bears offense. While they scored a bunch in San Francisco, Green Bay held them at bay for most of the time they played.
Correct.
Except for when they didn't. And when they didn't, you let them hang around, and then they took advantage of it. So the criticisms of Jeff Hafley, this again shows you why branding is so important, because his brand is strong, and it's deserved.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't a winning coach in college. He wasn't. And his defenses statistically, while I look at the eye test and will tell you they're better, they're not that much better than what Joe Barry did. They're just not. It's not. So branding is important. Jeff Hafley is a leader. You can tell he's great in front of the microphone. We have no idea how he'll do if he does get a head job. And his time without Micah, he had some good moments, but the worst moments were the Baltimore Ravens and that second half against the Bears. And those moments were as bad as anything we saw with Joe Barry being the defensive coordinator, period, fin.
We'll get to a few more calls before we close up shop. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talent acquisition at goodkarmabrands.com. That's talent acquisition at goodkarmabrands.com.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. But wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, I'm giving my hair salon a total makeover.
Total makeover sounds totally expensive.
We updated our logo and colors, so I needed to print new signage, brochures, business cards, everything.
Everything will not be cheap.
Staples did it all, and I saved $100 on my order.
$100? Trim my whiskers, that's a good deal. For everything your business needs to print, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Offer valid in-store and online. Ends 1/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Don't miss a full day of nonstop basketball action at the Deer District Prep Showcase Saturday, January 24th at Fiserv Forum. See the next generation of stars as 12 elite high school boys basketball teams take over the court for 6 can't-miss games. Watch Slinger, Freedom, Arrowhead, West Dallas Central, Racine Lutheran, and more all in one place. General admission is just $20, and that gets you access to all 6 games. Check the full schedule and grab your tickets now at FiserVforum.com. Be there. Feel the energy. The Deer District Prep Showcase Saturday, January 24th.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Our last call of the day. That honor goes to a man in Tulsa, Oklahoma. His name is Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. What do you got for us? How you doing?
Yeah. Doing good. Good show today. You guys talked briefly about soup. I made chicken gnocchi soup like 3 days ago.
Oh, gnocchi! Oh, I love gnocchi. I love gnocchi.
Yeah, I tagged the Twitter account, so I posted the picture of the soup I made. So go check it out.
Oh, we got to go check that out. Yes.
Soup by Brandon.
Did you post the recipe too?
So No, that's my recipe. Sorry, secret.
You got to pay for that, Jason. So this isn't a free.
Yeah,
what do you get? Free soup?
There's no free. No soup for me.
Did you have salad and breadsticks with it?
Oh yeah, obviously breadsticks go with it. Put them in the oven. But yeah, excellent, great soup. I'll probably make it again in a couple weeks. So going to the Packers. When I heard the news of Matt getting re-signed, I texted my buddy. And the first thing I said to him was, if we stay healthy next year, we're going to the Super Bowl. And he texted right back and said, we've been saying that for 15 years. I want to believe, but at some point, they got to show us. And I started to text him right back, but I didn't know what to say because that's the point. Tausch, you keep using the word change. What's going to change? Who's going to change? My question is, what does this tell the guys in the locker room when they see their coach get a job or, a contract extension? I know it tells them, hey, you've got stability here. This is not one of those franchises where you're going to get 3 or 4 offensive coordinators in a 5-year period. So it tells them to, hey, put your mind at ease. You're not learning a new system. Your leader's coming back. But does it tell them any negative things like the status quo is okay here?
Great.
Because you hear Tucker.
That's a really good question, Brandon. I don't want to cut you off, but we're almost out of show, and I want Tausch to be able to answer it. That's a really smart question. Tausch, what say you?
Well, I mean, status quo, complaint, whatever that might be, what it tells me as a player is we believe we're close.
That's what
we believe we can get this done.
We believe you guys are good enough. So you could
look at it that way and again, that locker room came out in pretty good support of Matt. This isn't like there's a ton of but it's true.
Yeah,
it is what else you're going to say. But the guys that are there are going to be believers. The skeptics will be gone. That's how this works. So, I get it, man. I understand. I see fans' frustrations and Brandon saying, what am I going to tell you? Yeah, because it has not been 3 years.
No.
It's going on 16. You literally could be getting a driver's license. Max T, my son, who is driving now, God help us all, there is a chance that he could be driving before we see another chip. A very good chance. Matter of fact, it will be.
Wait, he's already. Anyway.
You get a license. There's a difference between having temps and a license, you knuckleheads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess I should have said by himself. I should have said by himself. I'm sorry,
appreciate you acknowledging that was a little bit confusing.
I forgot the work police is here today. My bad, boys.
Be driving a bus by the time. Yeah.
He kept making all the stops.
Who said anything about a bus?
Me.
Jesse did. We got we got to wrap up the show. That's enough.
Let's go. Eisen.
We'll do that next.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you. With 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Rock a big win this January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $60,000 in prizes every week. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your January drawing entries all roll into an even bigger prize drawing in March. Rock on all month long, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Conference play is here, and every game at the Kohl Center matters. Wisconsin men's basketball kicks off its Big Ten home slate, facing Ohio State, Michigan State, Iowa, and more. Grab single-game tickets to be a part of the action, or elevate your game day with premium seating, including all-inclusive food and beverage, and the best views in the house. Big matchups, Big Ten intensity, the Kohl Center is the place to be. Get your tickets at uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Ben Brust here for Iron Jock. It's a new year, and that means new goals. If you're still working on your New Year's resolutions right now, congrats. You've officially made it past Quitter's Day. More than 70% of people give up by now, so this is a win. Iron Jock wants to reward you. Now, through January 27th, our listeners can get 30% off any Iron Jock purchase over $75 when you use promo code ESPN30. And you'll also score a free 3-pack of Iron Jock socks, a $25 value. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, we're out of time. Congratulations on a great show today. And I'm not talking to Jesse or me or to Tauscher. But to you, great calls, great engagement.
Yeah,
we appreciate all of that.
Good day by our crew today. And I think everybody's looking to – let's see, Jesse, put out there. Let's get the best soup recipes from everybody. Seems like everybody's on board with soup.
Send us your soup recipes on Twitter at
and the Super Bowl. Yeah, and the Super Bowl.
Super S-O-U-P-E-R bowl. Yeah. Clever.
Yeah.
We got to go the Bucks. Who's going to win it? The Bucks. The Bucks. Their MLK Day game is on next on ESPN. Madison, Rich Eisen. Sorry, buddy.
Tough
everywhere
break,
else.
Rich.
Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
From office lunch